Hi, this is Corina Angela, and welcome to the Origin of Light. From your first spark, not taught, remembered. This is the segment of words of wisdom, encouragement, and inspiration. So, welcome. This was written on September 26th, 2025. Within your bravery, you are masterful. To teach masterful ways is the way of breathing through your heart. So, right here, I went into a very deep trance like meditation, and I meditate every day, and I hope you all are too. um, but what came through was Gandhi was right in front of me. And he's popped in many times in the past, and we were floating in space. We were, like levitating in space. And he reminded me to breathe through my heart. So it says, breathing through our hearts is to teach masterful ways. Breathing through our hearts is also referenced in everyday transmissions. So when we were connected there, it was like we were in unison, the energy of the infinity cycle that was permeating all around us, below us, above us, and through us. So it was like this energy flow that I could feel and see that we were in and exchanging. It was quite incredible. And then I wrote down, love more through your heart. Right hand on your heart, left on your solar plex, and breathe. So perhaps this is a little exercise for you as all, for you as well, for you all. This created a feeling of abundant tranquility, this beautiful, tranquil state. So when I was with this, my heart connected with my right hand, and then my left hand, um, yeah, my right hand on my heart, and then my left on my solar plex. It felt just incredible, and I could just feel it permeating this tranquil state. It was just quite beautiful. Then I went on to say it this tranquil state. It was a reference to how I was in the cave for 3 years, dedicated to my practice. Um, Backstory. I started meditating when I was 14. So 14, 15, and 16, there was 3 years there that I would just, close my eyes, go into a very deep state, deep trance, and I would always end up in a cave. I was always in the same cave, same place, same location, everything. It was just for 3 years. It's very interesting. And then it says, I earned my way, my own path through my bravery. I am masterful. So maybe reflect, on a time that you are brave, and when were you incredibly brave to master something and become masterful, where we never master anything really. We are in mastery because everything is such a process and a beautiful process. So perhaps reflect now and think, of the times that you were masterful and it felt incredibly tranquil and you were incredibly brave. And perhaps put it on a post-it note, put it on your mirror, as a reminder of how far you have come and what you have been through and how strong you are. So I went on to say, to help others in servitude, to help them see what I see, know what I know, be brave, be courageous, to expand ultimate consciousness, loving my physical body, to teach them each cell has a happy face. I truly love and know my body is extraordinary, and I honor it every day. I honor my physical body immensely. So I just wanted to share that today. Perhaps you are expanding and you're being incredibly brave and incredibly courageous, and kudos to you, and keep going. And your physical body, teach others that their body is amazing, and it's physically capable of anything, right? And each cell within your body, put a happy face on it, and deep dive into your body, that and honor your body and how amazing your physical body is. It's extraordinary. um, I wanted to share a little bit. Back when I was 28 years old, I was diagnosed with precancerous cells, stage 4 of pre, not cancer, but precancerous. And the doctor looked at me and said, "Oh yeah, oh wow, you're this is going to expand really far, and you're this is not looking good." And I just looked at her, with deer in the headlights. What are you saying? I just it was just like talking gibberish to me, and I didn't understand. And I so what was happening, I didn't let it impede my etheric field or my body. I did not let her words penetrate my system. So it was almost like a block, like, yeah, I don't believe what you're saying, and that's not true. And I immediately, went into, oh my gosh, the next day I was like, oh, poor me, victim, all of those things. I took off a week of work. I laid on the couch. I cried like a baby. And at the end of the week, I heard very clearly one of my guides come through and said, "Are you done yet?" I was like, oh, huh, okay. And so it prompted me to listen. And what they showed me was this exercise that, they had me go into my body, look in, with my eyes closed, and go look inside deep into my body, and focused in on every cell, thousands and thousands and thousands of cells within my body from head to toe and from toe to head. And they said, put a smiley face on it. Every cell in my body had a smiley face. And in that moment, something shifted within my body. And it's hard to explain, the unexplainable, which we all experience so many times in our lives. It Something shifted, and I didn't think the thoughts anymore about what the doctor said. I didn't tell anybody. I didn't express. Obviously my immediate family knew. And I didn't repeat. I didn't revisit the words that the doctor at that time had given me, and I let it go. I just let it go within my thought process. I just didn't think about it, right? I knew I had, follow-up visits and all of those things. And of course I did. I went back to work. I went back. But what I held on most was I wanted to have children. And I held up, I held on to that that was going to happen. And I would have many children, and they would all be healthy. And I hung on to that, and I focused in on that, right? So I did my follow-ups and all of that. And by the end of 3 months, they ran more tests, and everything was gone. It was completely cleared. And the precancerous cells never came back. It never evolved into cancer, nothing. And so from that experience, when I was that young, I was 20, 28, um, it really shaped and shifted my world of how strong our thoughts are, how our mind shifting can clear anything, how our bodies are so incredible, and how strong we truly, truly are. And I went on to have four amazing boys, all natural, incredibly healthy. And it never, never came back, never revisited me. And, I just, I just think, we are incredible. We are magnificent human beings here, and we can love our body that much and honor our body that much and honor what our plans are. So if you're planning to have children or not, or planning, whatever you're planning, um, that's your creation, right? And that is your brilliance, and that is why you're here. So, among many things, obviously, but I just wanted to share that because when that came through on this specific day, it was very, very clear of, we are incredible. We can go to that tranquil state. We can breathe through our hearts and slow down and honor our body, honor our breath, honor who we are and why we're here. Thank you so much for listening. And this is Corina Angela of The Origin of Light. Thank you again.